it was going to be a tough game, especially not having Avery or Jacob Schulden. So that definitely held us back a little bit. I felt like the score could have been a little bit different if we had both those guys.
Fortunately, on the defensive end, we have guys, all 6 men that we have, including, and so all 7, including Avery, but all 6 can win their own individual matchups. So for us, there's not a, like we're always ready to slide, we're always ready to go, but we don't have to do it that much because Alex, Jacob, Hadley, everyone wins their matchups, including the short sticks. So I think that works, and then I think we have a great chemistry. I mean, I've been playing with Alex for a while. I've been playing with Jacob for a while. Hadley's a new addition, but he's picking up real fast. So I think all of us working together, and we've been playing with Avery for a while. So I think we have more chemistry, I think, than the offensive does right now. And I think that'll just, for them, it'll keep building the rest of the year. And I think for us, we just have to stay on top of that and make sure we don't lose it.
A lot of good physical athletes, multi-sport athletes, and that's exactly what we got out on the field. They played tough, they played hard all the way around. They had a lot of guys who could really run the field. They could get separation on dodges. They're a very talented team, in my opinion. A lot of like raw, skilled athletes out on the field. Defense because we have to play right again and be able to withstand another 2 minutes on offense or on defense. But you know, as a team, we all did really well, kind of keeping our heads steady and not getting angry with each other, I think.
Going into a game, I got to feel the game. I had to switch up my stick before the game, so that slowed me down. Got a bunch of shots in before the end of the half, and that really helped me turn my game around.
Johnny Mac, get through. Get through. Early. For Johnny. For Houston. Next pop. Next pop. Next pop. You ready? Hank. He needs help, Hank. Next pop. Hank, carry behind. Come Houston. Hank, coming. Make sure he knows Johnny Mac where's his help. Johnny Mac, here's his help. Here's his help. We're out now. Come on it. Back on, you guys. Heads on.
It was a great feeling to make one of those saves. I was talking to, we got a timeout previously, and Heck was talking to me about, like, Cap, you need to make, like, one more big save, and, you know, we can get through this win. And, you know, obviously, I ended up making the save, and, you know, I heard everyone, you know, like, hey, like, you know, let's go Cap from the sidelines, and that's always a big confidence booster, having the team cheer you on. So, yeah, it definitely, I think, kind of changed the momentum a little bit. But it was a great feeling to make one of those saves for the team.
It makes you feel good, especially since Ryan hasn't necessarily gotten the time last year. It felt really good to see him go out there and just kill it and do really well and really seize the moment that he was in.
Set there, Jess! Jess, pull on! Jess, pull on! Jack, take it back! Jess! Keep it in! Keep it in!
At that point, we can't let off the gas. We have to kind of, you know, keep playing hard and keep sticking it to them. But at that point, I think we did kind of think we had a safety net and let off a little. And they made a good run, but we ended up, you know, finishing the game up one. So.
Number up! Number up! Easy! Number up! Good defense.
Try not to think in situations like that. I think that's the key. But I know in the back of my head, because I know the goal that they just scored before that, I made a mistake, and that led to them getting the goal. So I was just like, just don't do anything stupid. Like, you can't mess this up. So I think that was what was going through my head, the back of my head. But like when the ball's coming, you kind of have to put all that away. So you just rely on the training that you've done to catch the ball and throw it down the field.
I'd say that was probably the perfect outcome for us to have a game be that close, but still everybody did really well. It gave the younger guys the confidence to play any other team in the league, even if they aren't necessarily going to be in. Like if we'll have our starters back, it gives them the confidence to know that if they get a penalty, or if one of the starters gets a penalty, they'll go in and they'll execute.
Learning mental errors in that game, right? How do you finish out a game? You're up 8-3. You're up 9-5, right? How do we close out a game against a good physical team that's not going to give up? You know, that Winnacunnet team has now lost their first 3 games by a combined, I think, five goals. You know, so they're a very good team. Their record may not indicate it right now, but we went into that game knowing maybe the injuries we had were going to put us a little, shorthanded from where we wanted to be. So we changed our game plan a little bit and said, you know what, we're going to get in there. We're going to get a win any way we can. Come out of the week 2-0. The guys did it. They executed. I was really proud of them. It was our first time on grass. We hadn't practiced on grass all year. First time seeing a live zone defense, and we broke them early. I thought the kids did a great job with that. The face-off circle, we were dominating. We did everything really well except finish the game. But we did come away with a win, so we can build off.
I think it definitely has to do with having games like that, because facing adversity is big, especially early in the season. And once you get over that hump, I think it's usually smooth sailing.
2-0 is big, and then I think that when we have close games like that, that puts a little bit of a bigger target on our back for other teams.
Really good. I mean, we thought Winnacunnet was going to be a huge challenge, which it was. They played a great game. And we've always had somewhat of a rivalry with Goffstown in the past. And getting up to 2-0 on the season right away is really, really good for us because we have such a young team this year. It's good to have an early lead.
It was huge. I mean, looking at the way the league is setting up with the amount of parity that there is, with the hard schedule that we've given ourselves, coming away with 2 wins against 2 teams that are expected to be very good this year, expected to make runs in the playoffs, that sets us up well for a high seed in the playoffs, as long as we keep taking care of business within the division. Expectation that, you know what, we're going to be playing in rain today. We're going to play. It's going to be windy. It's going to be cold. It's going to be raining. We just got to deal with it. We wanted a tough schedule. We asked to come down and play these guys, and so we got it. And there's nothing we can do about it. So we were going down there, and then, like you said, all of a sudden the skies broke. It was beautiful out. The wind definitely played a factor. There were times where I watched the ball move from here to over here, and again, I got angry at my guys, but it really was not their fault. Like the passes, even they would raise their stick to go to throw, and the wind would start to take their stick and move it there. So a lot of the sloppiness we saw in that game, the wind played a huge factor in that.
It's tough driving an hour and a half and then being able to play instantly, especially we have these short, small little buses, but it's tough having to make that drive and then get off the bus and play right away.
I think we definitely started out a little tired because cold, rainy day doesn't help, but the weather I think did help us in our favor, just coming out and being sunny. Definitely was windy, so that threw off some passes, but I feel like the good weather woke us up overall because we were very quiet, which I was not expecting coming off the bus.
Yeah, so that was a completely new experience for us traveling out of state. In the Derryfield team history, haven't gone out of state. Westwood is a very good Mass team. They're consistently in that top 30 mix in Massachusetts, which is saying something for us to go down there and play a close game with them.
When I got to the game, I knew that my back was going to be hurting a little bit, but I just told myself, ignore it. It's not worth, if one gets in, don't blame it on my back, just make the next save. And even if I could only go 70, 80%, head always tells me to give 100% of what I can give, so give 100% of that 80%.
Warming up, it was raining, it was cold, I had a long sleeve shirt on, and then 5 minutes later in the middle of line drills I'm taking it off, so it was a weird change in the weather, but I think we got after it pretty well.
one thing we talk a lot about is staying with plays, not really giving up on plays. So saw the ball, threw not a great pass to Johnny Mack, kind of hit the ground, hit the dirt, right off a couple sticks, and then the ball's kind of bouncing around in the crease area. Learned a lot about following your shots and all that. So followed it, ball took a nice bounce to me, got to snag it out of the crease, and then got to put it in around the net. So I think that's a big thing we talk about, staying with plays, and the whole team's kind of adopted that mentality too. So it's a good thing to have, especially in late season games. All the goals don't have to be pretty.
It's huge to start off scoring early, and with a goal like that, not the prettiest, but it happened. Definitely got the ball rolling, and that's exactly what we needed at the time. And he's a good player, and he was able to step up.
It definitely gives you a load of confidence, and it kind of, especially on the defensive end, it relaxes your shoulders, so you can just focus on what you need to do. Versus if you're say they get the first goal, you're always thinking like, oh, you're down one, like you have to play with the comeback
He
mentality.
calmed everybody down. It was a huge effort and determination play. You know, it's not one that you're going to write up in script. It was a broken play, and John's a tremendous athlete and just saw an opportunity, you know, got the ball, had the presence of mind to settle himself down, get himself in front of the net, stay out of the crease, and be able to finish there. And really, I think, kind of told Westwood, like, you guys aren't going to push us around today. Like, if you want to muck it up, we'll get right in there with you, and we'll play your game. And I think that was an important message to send from the beginning, too. Watching them on film, they were a team that wanted to be physical, wanted to press out, create turnovers, and kind of intimidate teams. And I think once we showed them that, yep, you can come out and press us like that, but we'll be able to handle it, I think it changed the momentum quickly in that game. So getting a lead, I mean, it was huge for John to be able to do that for us.
Defense was going to come out and do great. What really made me happy about the outcome of that game is that the defense did a good job of communicating with the middies on how the middies were supposed to play defense, because we certainly had a few younger guys in there on the midfield. And when they came in, we got them where they needed to be, and they did a fantastic job.
I think defensively we were all working very well together. Their two leading scorers, I think the combined only had one goal, so I think that was a good win for the defense, and we could really see our chemistry.
With the Westwood game, and much like the Winnacunnet game, the only times they were really able to score on us was transition or man down plays. We are a very solid team, 6-on-6. We have, obviously 6 really strong defensive players that we throw in there, but it's tough when you make a defensive play, clear the ball, and then the Westwood big middies coming down right in your face, and you have to slide. And unfortunately, if we don't slide properly, or we're one step away, they're able to make a play, and they're able to make.
I felt very comfortable at that point with our defense, because our defense played probably one of the best games I've ever seen them play. They won all their individual matchups, which was huge, which led to shutting the team down. They didn't really score and settled offense. It was penalties and fast breaks. So our team, once we, I guess, get in a set 6-on-6, it's really hard to push on us.
was a little upset. I'd been on their best attackman all game, and he didn't have a point, but we'll let that go. He just scored his first point on man up, but they win the face-off and call a timeout.
When they scored the second goal in the last couple of minutes, it was definitely a little bit more frightening. And then when we got them with I think they called a timeout with 17 seconds left, everybody was kind of freaking out. But I knew that the defense was going to do exactly what they were supposed to do, so I kind of took my role over as making it so that they were confident enough that they knew that they were going to go out and execute, so that I didn't have to do my job. That's the overall goal with defense, I guess.
What was running through my head is that, like I said in the Winnacunnet game, I messed up and they scored a goal and tied it with one. I was like, don't do anything. That was vividly playing over in my mind. I was like, don't do that.
Last possession, we played good, fundamental, solid defense all game long. So I was confident we were gonna be able to turn them away and maybe get a turnover there and close out the game. There's always that little doubt in your mind, but I don't know, it's always nerve-wracking when they come out of the timeout all fired up. They're ready to go put in a goal, and we have to make a defensive stance.
Max surprised everybody. When he went, I was about to yell no, and then and I said, I got to trust my captain, and he just went, and I think he even surprised the ball
Me and
carrier.
Max both knew that he was the guy that was going to go, so I set up, forcing him down the right side because he's a lefty, and he was able to get above, and I was still with him, and then, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds or 5 seconds in, Max comes and slides and lays a great hit, puts the ball on the ground, and we're able to just scrum it up until time runs out.
I saw their best player, Alex was covering him, I saw their best player go up to take a dodge, and everyone just cleared out, and I was like, oh, he's not passing the ball, like, he hasn't really passed the ball all day, he's not passing the ball. So, I was like, we'll just call, it kind of had everyone zone it a little bit, and then I would be the hot guy, and I'd just go. And he dodged. He did exactly what I thought. He didn't pass the ball, and then Alex and I were able to get the ball on the ground. So that was a great feeling. Yeah.
It's on the ground, boys. Good job, guys.
After that final whistle, Max comes up to me and he says, I know you had him, but there's no way he was giving that up. And it was just great recognition by Max.
I think it's huge, especially for the younger guys, because winning a game like that lets them know that we're here to play, and we're ready to go take on anybody at this point.
I think for us, we're well known in New Hampshire as a great team, and there certainly are a few schools in Massachusetts that know of us, but not really. And it's just good to see that we can hang with teams that aren't, or that are, I guess, outside our comfort zone, outside of what we normally are used to seeing. Because we're used to, when we see a team, we know everybody on the roster. So it's good getting that change up and knowing that we can play with unpredictability.
Kids really brought it. From the opening whistle, we knew they had one of the best face-off guys in Massachusetts. From what the coaches down there were telling me, our guys responded and came close to going 50-50 with the kid and getting a lot of possessions at key times. The defense was absolutely locked in and just shut down their two top guys. But again, finishing out games, we're up 6-3. I think there might have been maybe 2-3 minutes left, and we need to stay out of the penalty box. We can't give up a quick transition. All of a sudden, we're in a 6-5 game. But when it came down to it, Max and Alex, our two top defenders, made the play they needed to.